I'm John McClendon. My YouTube channel is just John McClendon. It's got some guitar playing and stuff like that. It's nothing special. But anyway, yeah, check it out if you want.
And that's your tent over there?
That's my tent. Little Coolman. I do blacksmithing. In the spare time, made some tongs for my cooking.
Pretty nice.
Thank you.
And
got my new knife too, huh?
John with the Wingman 115 channel. You guys have probably seen me before. Alan and I camped out about, what, a year ago?
yeah, right over there.
In this spot, except it was a February, I believe, right? And about over 2 inches of rain in one day. Cold as hell. We did it. Katie barred the door. Different shelter than last time. Last time I had a one tigress smoky hut that had a wood stove. You need to go check that video out on Alan's channel.
And
that saved everybody's bacon.
But when it was overstocked with heat, they got up to what, 127 in there?
No, we had it up to 141 one time, right?
141.
Yeah, 141.
That pipe was just glowing.
It melted the tent, right? Because I gave it to Joseph Russell.
Yeah, he fixed it.
He did. So, different shelter today. We're doing an NTK. I went small, only went with the 9-man tent for a single guy. But we're out here. It's kind of like a base camp. So when we're out here, why not smooth it? You don't have to always be, Jeremiah Johnson in it. Sometimes, we're getting a little bit older here, the back's hurting.
Bring your cot.
Yeah, bring the casting cot. So what we got, let me see here if I can open this up. YouTubers always holding cameras.
Jeremiah Johnson.
So, my humble abode.
You can stand up in it.
That's what I wanted. Something, if I do a lot of hunting, air gun hunting and primitive archery stuff on my channel. And I like to go where we have a base camp. If we have bad weather, it'd be nice to be able to sit in here with a couple guys with chairs.
Play cards,
do whatever just to rough out maybe the squall and then go back out and you're having fun. It makes it really nice though. I got my cot. We're good to go. You know what? Why suffer?
You got all this room over here too.
Yeah. So tonight I'll be out here, doing a little staying alive. We're going to have fun.
Jaime.
What's up, guys? Hamilton Park, JLD Instinctive Archery. You guys might have seen me on the Wingman 115 channel, but yeah, just hanging out. That's my little hooch over there.
Hennessy.
Little Hennessy hammock. Thanks to Alan, got it all set up because it's my first time using it. So hopefully I'll make it through the night. But yeah, having a good time.
Camps come with a barbecue grill. We got some stoves. I got a little barbecue grill. Trangia conversion kit. I can use different fuels.
Hey, quick story about last time as well. Your listeners, you're going to want to go watch that video. I don't know if you got it on video or not when we had the cougar that was making the sound over here.
We were looking for it, but I didn't get the recording.
Okay, I'm going to set up the story for you guys. We're camping. It's cold. It wasn't raining yet. The 2 inches of rain in like 24 hours. So we're over there. We're huddled by the fire. We're having some adult beverages, just talking. We hear this scream, like a scream, right? Something like that.
Who walked with me up there?
Well, you're getting ahead of the story.
Oh, the car coming
down. So we
down.
heard the scream, and then a truck with a travel trailer came just barrel-assing by our camp, goes up there, and was there just a hot minute, pulls a Yui, comes back, and this is how the guy gets out of the truck. Guys, you gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. There's a cougar like 75 yards just over there.
A huge one.
Yeah, huge, right? What does Alan do? Him and my nephew go, where was the cougar? They're like up there. He grabs his camera and a flashlight and hauls ass up there trying to find the cougar in the middle of the dark. I go, and they're like, aren't you going to stop him? I'm like, it's easier to hold the tide back with a broom than to stop these guys from going up there. But it was a fun time.
Yeah.
Now, today we found a deer leg just right over here.
Grill
you
it
guys
up.
are going to go, yeah, a deer leg.
Grill it up.
And here, let's see. I'm going to show you guys. We're just walking along, and I showed Jaime. I go, check this out. We found a deer leg out there. So
Sasquatch.
there's some real. It could be a Sasquatch. A lot of tree breaks out here. So who knows? Coyotes could have drugged that off. That's what Jaime thought. But with cougar action here, there's a lot of deer, a lot of ground squirrels. There's fresh coyote scat.
They may be back after it.
Hey, who knows how this adventure is going to go? But we're going to take you live action, baby. That's how we roll.
Hennessy with the diagonal tarp. He's got the Hennessy under quilt, not the under foam. I told him he's probably going to need to put the heat sheet. Makes all the difference in the world in between the two. And I have the SL3 Go Light, original Go Light, under the old oak tree.
Better than I could with a bow, actually.
I'll flip that. That's just unrolling. That's a ridge light and a hammock gear overquilt. Then my bracer and my glove, quiver, and canteen, chair. A little bit of Primus fuel left, not much. But then I have the converter so I can use propane. Coffee pot and my bow. Rattlesnake skin, Osage, leather, ironwood, beaver silencers. It's made by James Easter Jr. Gonna go rabbit hunting tomorrow morning. Rabbit hunting. So John's camera's got infrared. Look at this. Okay, there's what my camera gets. Here's what his camera gets.
And it is October, so we're in Halloween. So you never
Pretty
know.
nice.
We might see some ghosts and
So we're going
goblins
for
out here.
we're going for a night hike.
Nightcap hike.
Look at that. The music. Do 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 do.
Wow, bat just almost hit us in the head.
That old cactus with a stink bug.
We found an old game trail.
So we're sitting around the fire, and the first our conversation started out with gold panning, and then trout, and then it went on to Andy Griffith, and then it went on to sleet stacks, and then it went on to what? And then it went on to Seinfeld, and then it went to Bonanza, Gunsmoke, and then it eventually made it to South Park.
Well, hold on here. Here, I want to ask your viewers a question. Now, I've been telling Alan all night that he needs to write a book. Leave in the comments down below in this video how many people would actually buy a book if Alan wrote it.
Those bastards! They killed Kenny!
There you go. Just leave it down in the comments down below. If you want to see a book about all his exploits in the mountains, the people that he's met, just crazy zany stories and such, I'm gonna check it out when this video posts.
A lot of stuff's happened. He's over there with the moonshine. First thing you know, Jed's a millionaire.
Wash right over here and just do it. Get the wash, get the release.
So what knives are you carving with?
Well, I'm reviewing some old school classics. In Opinel, these knives have been around, gosh, over 100 years. And then Old Bear, I'm trying to think of the name of the parent company for this, but these knives have been around, I believe, since the 1930s. Very classic look. So what I'm trying to do is what we call tri-sticks, and it's basically a skills test to learn the characteristics of a knife, and it'll tell you a lot about the feel of the blade, because if it doesn't feel right in the hand, one, it's not going to be safe, and two, you're just not going to use it. So this is just a quick, it's been over an hour, hour and a half, way of basically breaking both these blades down to find out the good, the bad, and the ugly on them.
And you're using which knife?
So this is the Rake Knife. The model is the F118G. There's a F118B for a black scale handle. This is obviously the green and black. And it's just kind of a good jack of all trades knife. Just picked this one up. I'm getting a good feel for it. Same thing, doing the tri-stick, different notches for the same thing that John just said. You know, that each individual notch would be used individually on a separate stick for whatever application. But and just to confirm what John said, when you're handling the knife, it lets you know how the different ways you can hold the knife in the different positions. Is it comfortable? And also the geometry of the blade, the steel of the blade, how's it going to hold up, blah blah blah. And yeah, it's a great tool, great training exercise for both learning about the knife that you're using and also the individual, you know, learning all the intricate cuts that need to be applied. So yeah, it's good times.
And it'll tell you a lot about steel and grind too. You know, that's a major factor of a lot of questions that we get on our channel is what's the best steel, what's the best grind? And the biggest question I ask folks is what is the primary purpose or the reason that you're going to use that blade? If it's food prep over bushcrafting skills, that's a totally different grind, totally different steel. So you have to basically decide what camp you're going to be in. Now, people are looking for that one-all unicorn knife. I know that Jaime's been on a quest for that one knife to rule them all. Out of the many years that I've been doing this, I have not found that. And as a knife designer myself, I don't believe that there is one knife that can do it all. Now, there's people out there that are going to argue that fact, but hey, if somebody can show different, post a video up. I would love to learn.
And he gave me a knife. I'll let him tell you about this knife that he gave me.
Okay.
Yeah, break it out.
So this is a knife that I designed. It took about 3 years to do this. I've been running a YouTube channel for 15 years this year, and after 750 reviews, I mean, I've done hundreds of knife reviews, and people were asking me, hey, why don't you design a blade? Why don't you do this? So I started thinking about what attributes I wanted personally in a knife. So I started going back to my roots of growing up in northern Maine. My mom, my dad, my grandfather hunted, fished. I had a trap line. I started thinking about the knife designs that those individuals, our grandfathers and all those old woodsmen used over the years. None of them were these big Rambo type blades that you see in the movies. Everybody carried a 4.5 inch blade. So based on my experience of growing up in northern Maine and being a knife reviewer over the years, this is what I came up with as a hunting and fishing all around general purpose knife, camp knife. You can skin with it. A lot of people ask, like this finger choil, how come I didn't make it bigger? Well, it's designed as a finger choil for choking up, and if you're gonna skin game, gut fish. That was all based on working with my grandfather as a child and having a trap line. We trap beaver, we trap muskrat, hunting and fishing deer and trout, things like that. I put a 90-degree spine on it because folks that are in that bushcrafting camp like to have a sharp 90-degree spine to strike ferro rods and things. We went with G10 scales. I have a bow drill divot. That's more for the bushcrafters that like to do fireboards and things like that. But you may be in a situation where you're lost in the woods. Maybe your matches got wet. Maybe your lighter went bad. And if you have the skills of being able to do a fireboard, well, now you have a bow drill divot. You don't have to try to make one out there in the woods. We made it out of Boulder K110 steel. That's a D2 variant tool steel. I went with that to be more corrosion resistant because me growing up in northern Maine, there was a lot of moisture, a lot of humidity. And if you don't do knife maintenance diligently, you're gonna have a lot of corrosion on the blade, especially with high carbon steels, 1095 and such. So that doesn't negate you not doing knife maintenance on this, but you can be a little more lax with it. Keep it clean, keep it dry, wipe it down. When you get home, put a light oil on it if you're gonna let knives set for a long time. But yeah, in a nutshell, hunting, fishing, all-around camping knife. This is not the unicorn of one knife rules them all by any means, but for what I do, I bow hunt, I use high-powered air gun, hunts, things like that. This is a knife that's for big game, small game, and fish.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Keep it on the light so you can see it.
That was processed as well. So what we're shooting here is a Riverbend longbow. Fellow YouTuber by the name of Ray Fletcher is a boyer, and I discovered him on Instagram probably about a year ago, and saw that he was making bows. So I reached out to Ray. He makes traditional longbows, and I had him make me a bow. So he goes by Riverbend Longbow and Outdoors on YouTube. Great guy. great bows. I love them so much that I just bought another one. This one is maple. Look at the figure in that maple. I'll put it. It's almost like a fiddleback, not quite a bird's eye, but it's just beautiful. And he's using maple laminate in there with black fiberglass. Makes everything himself. The strings, the tip protector. He wet forms the leather and sews that on with the imitation sinew. Makes the leather arrow rest and the strike plate. Just an artisan. Look, I mean, look at the limb tips. Just beautiful bow, and just shoots really good. So you call him up, tell him what you want, and he'll make it to whatever poundage you want. Just awesome bow. Let me try one more here.
Mine's made of Osage, and it's got ironwood tips. Leather wrapped, snakeskin.
And let me tell people what
Coated.
quiver's on this too.
And mine's made by James Easter. I'll put a link to him down below. Beaver First Silencers. He makes the string, he makes the whole thing as well. Some of them got some character to them, like that bend where he has to follow the grain. I think it gives them a little personality. Looks really cool.
So folks are going to ask probably in the comments what quiver is on this bow. This is a Cellway Quiver. This is one that has a wraparound mount on it versus the ones that slide over the limbs. So there's two types. I chose this type because I shoot recurves and longbows, and the thickness of the limbs, a recurve will have a wider limb, but it'll be thinner than a longbow. So I like to be able to transfer these to multiple bows, but Cellway Quivers has that old school traditional look. Just beautiful looking rig all together. Oh, folks gonna ask too, what sort of arrows? These are actually carbon fiber arrows, but they have a wood graphic wrap on the arrow, and it just beautiful. This is Black Eagle vintage, and I'm shooting 500 spine because I'm shooting a 45-pound bow. 500 spine. I'm running 200 grains up front with a 20 grain insert, so my forward weight is probably about 30% forward on the arrow. For folks that do archery will understand that. For hunting, you get better penetration with a higher weight and a more forward percentage of weight, as opposed to like balancing an arrow. So with more weight up front, especially hunting, you get a lot more penetration, so you can shoot actually a lighter pound bow and be just as effective as guys shooting 60, 70, 80 pound bows. So it's all physics, but it's fun.
Okay, what do you got going?
For me? So I made my Christmas ramen. Do you want me to tell the story? The condensed version?
Go ahead.
Do it. A couple of years ago, I had some friends that came over on the evening of the 25th. So I was just at home hanging out, didn't have any plans, and they were spraying some holiday cheer. And they brought some beverages, adult beverages. So we hung out, had a good time, and when they showed up, I was already halfway in preparing my dinner. So I kind of just turned off the pot, and we all hung out, and I kind of forgot about what I was making. A few hours later, a few drinks later, the guys are getting hungry, three friends and myself, and I'm like, shit, you know, it's the night of Christmas Day, nothing's open. I'm like, and I only got what I got. I didn't have much, so it was just a packet of ramen, some sardines, smoked oysters, chopped some garlic, chopped some onions, cracked a couple eggs, to say 2 packets of ramen in there. And I'm like, I don't know if that's going to be enough. Well, it ended up being enough, and they loved it. Oh, and the secret, lime juice. So I made that real quick, just so everybody can see. And
John's gonna try it.
Hell no.
yeah, we know if I was gonna try it.
No.
Now the only thing that is lacking that I didn't bring, and I don't have the room in the canteen cup, is an egg. Now when I'm normally out camping and I'm doing this, it's not as complex. It's normally just like maybe some sausage and maybe a little bit of garlic.
Cause I gotta try it.
Hey, Jay, you want to give this a little bit of a sip?
You want to ride that buffalo?
Come sample it.
He's pulling out the tobacco. He's pulling out the chew.
Here he comes.
Let's do it.
Right on.
Just the flavor alone, let me tell you. John's too scared to try it.
I don't want to be wallpapering oak trees tonight.
Let's try that.
Oh, dear Lord.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It is,
Christmas
it's
ramen.
kind of a smoky lobster flavor almost.
Smoked lobster.
Dude, my gut's rolling just watching him make that. My gut rolled.
Yeah, that's delicious.
They're better men than I am. I'm sorry.
It's delicious. All those oils from the, it's not like I drained the oils. They're in there with the boiled water, the lime juice. It's, yeah. Especially you're out here burning calories. It's cold. It's been raining. Right here. Pack some punch.
Power
I'll reach
grease
down and
bowl.
grab a handful of dirt here real quick. Sorry.
For some ramen.
Merry Christmas.
Fried pork chop. Coles baked potato. Onions. Asparagus. Green beans. And raspberry beer.
The schnozberry tastes like raspberry.
For the money. Nice and fatty though. Steel right on top of it. You held it down. Kind of trick. There it goes. So I'm not sitting on it.
Bigfoot bushcraft. Be a link in the details.
Get to the chopper.
There might just be something that happens. They say certain foods
Got
do
some-
set them off and stuff.
Steak, garlic, baked
some people,
beans,
it seems
some
to be
shrimp,
like
and some mushrooms,
Almost hereditary.
and
My dad got them off.
organic apricot beer.
Things like chocolate really set them off.
Now, one thing I've always admired about Alan and his channel is his culinary skills out here. No, seriously, this is no BS. Out here in the woods. And it's just amazing some of the meals that he puts together just in a short amount of time. You know, you don't see him doing like a big production, but I mean, the food is like freaking restaurant quality. It's cool.
For those of you in England and Scotland and everything, this steak used to spend about $11, 10 bucks, 11 bucks in the steak. Now John works at a grocery store, so he knows. I went to Walmart the other day. 3 ribeye steaks, about the size of half of this plate. 3 ribeye steaks, $62.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He said they rip him off from his work all the time.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a high theft item now. The higher the cost of goods, well, the more that it's going to be stolen, unfortunately.
Back here would be a spooky place to camp. It seems like there's a mountain lion gonna come out at any minute. Pineapple pancakes, sausages, coffee.
Hi, folks. I'm Hugh Hauser, and I'm here with Alan from the Pharaoh Channel. Now, he's noted for his culinary skills, where he makes an awesome... What is this, Alan? Explain to our viewers.
Pancakes and sausage.
Pancake and sausages.